proposal enthusiastically and recommends it to the rest of the members of the House.
Call Ian Lees-Galloway.
Thank you very much, Mr Chair. When Parliament debated the purchase age for alcohol, I voted for change. I voted for the split age, and when that failed, I then changed my vote to 18. But I really wanted to see us change to a split age. I thought there was a lot of merit in the split age. However, members may recall that I said during that debate that we were placing far too much emphasis and far too much focus on the age as the sole source of redemption for Parliament when it comes to trying to address alcohol harm. And the government has done a very good job of singling out that issue and framing the debate around alcohol reform as a debate about age. And I congratulate the government on the framing and the messaging and the marketing that they've done around that, because it has been a superb effort on their part to distract the debate and the public from the weakness and the timidity of other parts of the so-called reform bill. So although I voted for change when we had the opportunity to vote on the age, I will not be supporting Hone Harawira's SOP that seeks a 5-year review of the purchase age of alcohol, because I think we've had that debate and it's done. It may be a good principle to review all legislation every 5 years. That may be a good principle, and I know that other members have discussed that as being something that we ought to do, and if that is a good principle, then we should apply it to all legislation. It may be that we need to review this legislation specifically after 5 years. And indeed, I think that once we have a stronger and more visionary government than we have at the moment, that alcohol law will be reviewed by a future government. And it may be appropriate to apply that 5-year review to all of the changes that are being made or are being proposed and may fail during this debate. But to single out this single issue of the age, I think continues that framing of this debate around alcohol harm being one about age. And I think it would be unfortunate for us to continue along in that vein, because this is not solely about age, which is the whole point of the debate we are having this afternoon. This is not just about age. It's about advertising. It's about drink driving. It is about the supply of alcohol. It is about parental responsibility. It is about the price of alcohol. It is about all sorts of factors. Age is not the only one, and it shouldn't be top of the list either. It certainly is an issue that we could have addressed. We could have done something, but we chose not to. And if we choose not to, and we're not going to review any other parts of the legislation, then I don't see why we should review that particular part of the legislation. I was concerned at Dennis O'Rourke's comment that this is one of the best supplementary order papers, one of the best amendments that we will consider today. It is not. It is absolutely not one of the best amendments we will consider today. There are many more meaningful, purposeful, evidence-based amendments that we will consider. I may have a couple in there, but there are others as well that aren't in my name that I will be looking forward to supporting and debating as well. This is not the most important issue, but that is the message that the public is getting. That age is the most important issue, and we need to move on from that. We need to move on from that. And that is why we can't support this, and we can't put up with comments like that about this being the most important supplementary order paper, because we need to actually focus on the other things that members are proposing in this legislation that will actually do something about our alcohol harm problem that we have in New Zealand. So, Mr Chairman, although I think we are going to need to review this legislation, and although I think a 5-year statutory review of the alcohol reform bill might be a good way forward, I cannot support singling out the issue of age any further.
I call the Honourable Annette King.
Thank you, Mr Chairman. Can I say to my colleague who's just resumed his seat that I